Hey, good evening, everyone. If you'd please stand and join me in the pledge. I'd like to have a moment of silence for the following individuals. Nancy Jenkinson, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District, and Catherine Alexander, a graduate of the North Syracuse Central School District. Thank you. Our first presentation this evening is a proclamation, so I'll read that. Throughout history, office personnel has had an impact on the district's students and community. They work for the well-being, welfare, and future of our children. The awesome responsibility is accepted with commitment, dedication, and even love. Because of the complexity and diversity of their role, they must be flexible, resourceful, positive, and patient. The office personnel of the North Syracuse Central School District are professionals of the highest caliber who have dedicated themselves to the ideals of their profession. Students, parents, administrators, and community members recognize, applaud, and appreciate their efforts to ensure students receive a quality education. To honor the office personnel of the North Syracuse Central School District and their accomplishments and efforts on behalf of our community's most valuable resource, our children, I'm Michael Maurizio, President of the Board of Education of the North Syracuse Central School District. On behalf of the board, express our deepest gratitude and hereby declare April 22nd, 2026 as Office Personnel Appreciation Day to be celebrated with appropriate educational activities. Do I have a motion to accept that proclamation? Paul and Mandy, any questions? All in favor? Have anyone here from office personnel? All right, our next presentation is the STEAM and Micron update. So I'd like to welcome up Nick and Jason. Welcome.
There we go. Awesome. So to give you a little bit of a history, in, I don't know, May or June, when the superintendent said, hey, I want to have you step into a little bit of a new role as being the director of STEM. With that came a whole lot of different things kind of running through my mind. And one of the first people that I ended up talking to was Jason. And Jason said, hey, I've already started thinking about this idea of creating a STEAM team in our district. And he had kind of come up with some different things through AI and some ideas about how to go about this. And so we started to operationalize that and orchestrate putting together a STEAM team starting in the summer. We thought about some different people and decided, you know what, let's create a team that is going to meet throughout the year and really start thinking about some of the things that we should be thinking about as a district. We have a really large district, and STEM has been a word since the early 2000s. And yet, if you ask what type of STEM or STEAM instruction is happening in our district, it is a little pocket here and a little pocket here, and no real coherent plan around that. And so it has been kind of our opportunity, and I kind of see Jason and I as a team as well as Daryl Redmond, who kind of fits into the A part of that with the arts, to really start thinking about what does it look like to have STEAM education, not just the silos of education of mathematics and science and arts, but we know that all of our careers in private industry is not in silos. They are very intertwined. And so one of the things that we have talked about with the start of this STEAM team is how do we think that way in public education? So we started a STEAM team. We have it made up of directors, principals, teachers throughout all K-12. So it's really kind of a cool cross-section that Jason and I and Daryl and Jamie, who are kind of the four who do some of the planning with it, get a chance to sit back and say, wow, this is a really cool opportunity to have a shared decision-making group talking about STEAM education. So we put the team together, and over the course of the year, we just kind of wanted to share some accomplishments that have come from that. One of them, and one that I'm really proud of, and I think that if John Rice could be in the role right now, sitting in the audience, he'd be really proud of. And for those of you that don't know, John Rice was the former director of science in the district, is that he was really always wanted to ensure that science instruction was happening at the elementary level. Well, next year, we're putting a plan in place to ensure that that happens across the district. We are going to do a little bit of a prioritized curriculum around Carolina Science, which is the platform that helps support our Smithsonian product. And we're going to ensure that science happens throughout the district through a specific plan that we're working with the science committee on, at the K4 Science Committee on, have worked with Amanda Veal, with the elementary director as well. And it's kind of been a really cool collaboration that we're ensuring that that happens next year. Jason has put together, and we kind of started to think about this as a STEAM group, this idea of STEAM seekers. So you might be like, what the heck does that mean? We think that really getting students excited about STEAM is all about creating activities and projects and things that will be cross-curricular, but also be these opportunities for students to say, hey, this might be something that I'm interested in and I want to do, and I want to do this little project. And there'll be potentially badges with it. We're kind of flushing out some different things around that, but at probably the K up into middle school level, we'll be providing an opportunity for students to really have these STEAM opportunities that they participate in either as groups or even individually, things at home that they could go and do, and kind of a cool opportunity that's coming. We also have said we need some type of seminar course, and a seminar course and the high school pathways are two things that really go hand in hand. We have started a Portrait of a Graduate committee, and that Portrait of a Graduate committee is starting to think about what is the state telling us we really need to have in place as we move forward. And with that Portrait of a Graduate committee, high school pathways are a really important thing that we've talked about. With these high school pathways, the only way to get students excited about a high school pathway is to give them content that helps them understand exactly what might be in some of those pathways. Well, one of those ways is to create a seminar course, either in 8th grade or 9th grade. We're still trying to work some of that out. And I don't want to say anything right now and all of a sudden it becomes like the truth. But putting together some type of seminar course to ensure that our high school pathways are clear for our students, that they understand what actually goes into them and can help them ultimately develop some interest in things in the STEAM, but also in humanities, all those different types of things. So that's come out of the STEAM team. And finally, we have an opportunity at the Cicero L actually is going to do like a STEAM room trial with the LMS there at Cicero L, and they have some extra space, gonna try to do some different things around STEAM education and the work with the library media specialist there. So that's kind of some of the work that we have done with the STEAM team. We have also started to use the STEAM team to help support AI implementation and AI rollout within our district. And so because this group is already thinking about Portrait of a Graduate, thinking about the STEAM programming, AI, high school pathways, how we ensure science happens in the elementary world. It has really kind of provided this group that can work outside of just STEAM education, but also is thinking at a larger scale. So that's kind of a little bit of an update we wanted to share and give on STEAM team. We'll provide any questions after Jason gets, but he's going to give a little update on Micron.
So just to also echo on the STEAM piece of it, when Nick was named Director of STEM, I was quite excited. A lot of people asked me, are you still doing technology? I said, yes, I still definitely am doing technology, but now I have a partner in crime to, try to start getting some of these ideas that I wanted to implement. Like the next 5 years are going to be an amazing time for our district, and I'm super excited about it. There's so many different things going on. And, with the Portrait of the Graduate, with the STEAM team, with all these things that we're doing, there's a lot of opportunities to really get kids excited about education and get kids excited about learning and hands-on and doing a lot of different things. So I see these years, we've all been up to the site up on, to the north part of our district. And I was talking to someone today that said it's amazing how much has been done. And I see a lot of this work that we're doing here, the same type of work that they're doing up at the Micron site. We're clearing ground, we're building foundations, we're building alongside Micron, really trying to develop a partnership with them and, see them as a long-term fixture in this district to really do some positive change. So, we're building alongside Micron. So once they're starting to hire, we're ready to have people that are available for that mission. Some of the things that we've done recently to partner with Micron is last week we had a very successful event here at the junior high. Micron reached out to us and said, hey, we're doing this community impact week. Can we use your junior high for an event? And we're like, yeah, sure. Let's figure it out. We can do it. So we shot for about 200 students. I don't think we ended up having quite that many. It was more like 140, 150 that ended up, but that's pretty good turnout during break week with the short notice. So we had students from here and from OCM BOCES come. We had a great presentation in the morning, and then there were 4 sessions that the students rotated around throughout in the afternoon, and everything went really well. But it was a nice partnership with Micron. The most, Lemoyne also was part of this. So I'm really excited to see all of these partnerships that are growing when, we're involving Syracuse and Lemoyne and all of these other organizations outside of just our walls to really make an experience great for our students. We are in the process of planning our 4th chip camp. So last year we took a little bit of a break from chip camp and had it moved to OCM BOCES where it was able to, more districts were able to be involved. And then I kind of pushed and said, let's bring it back so that our students can, since we are the district that has Micron in our school district. So we are now going to have our own North Syracuse only chip camp at the end of the school year. And, so we're getting back into that, and I'm planning on 100 to 120 students. Again, 3 days of events. First day is we're going to go to OCC and see the clean room at OCC. And then we're working on some other things, but it's going to be a very much a STEAM focused 3 days for 5th and 6th grade, current 5th and 6th graders at the end of the school year. We're planning on doing it right before, it's literally right at the end of the school year, right before people get into summer mode. So I'm really excited for that. We're in the process of planning that. We'll be the first of 7 chip camps that are actually happening this summer. So we have one, there's one at OCC, one at Lemoyne, one down in the southern region with TC3. And then there's one, OCM BOCES is having theirs again. So all in all, there's 7 chip camps going on, which has been a pretty big growth from 4 years ago when us and Liverpool were the only ones. So we're excited about that. I'm working with the junior high and the high school to try and figure out and get together a group that could head up to SU Micron Day. So last year we sent a group of students up to SU campus to the SU Micron Day, where the kids learned about everything that was involved with Micron and everything supporting Micron. They're doing this again, but they're upscaling it. So it's going to be at the Manley Fieldhouse complex this year at the turf field, the covered turf field there. And so we're going to try and send some students. It's basically kind of like an open house where local industry come and really help to get kids excited about opportunities that are happening in our community and around, a lot of hands-on things and learning about not just Micron, but again, things that go into supporting the chip industry and things like that. And then we're also, again, working with BOCES and Syracuse City and Micron and industries involved. I know BOCES is working on the industry cooperative where we're trying to really reach out to the community and expose students to things more than just in the classroom. And get them out and what's out there. It's not just the four walls of the building, but what's out there that you can learn from.
I think that's kind of our next step is once we establish the structure through which we are going to have our students go through different pathways that might exist at the high school and really solidify the portrait of a graduate picture in our district, that connecting with local industry, connecting with the private sector is going to be a really important piece. There are multiple private sector companies that want to partner with K-12 education, and we have some of them, but I think that we have a really neat opportunity to be able to leverage that, especially with Micron being in our backyard. Not that Micron's the only one, but bringing in other ones. People want to partner with North Syracuse, and it's exciting. The last thing we just wanted to share is that we currently are partnering with Oregon, who came out. I'm originally from Oregon, so I don't, that has not ever happened, I don't think. Onondaga Community College for an electrical mechanical engineering pathway. And this slide up there, if I could just kind of direct your guys' attention to it, it's a really cool thing that, there we go. Student could be having, so CCN is the coursework that they'd be taking at the high school. They could go into early college, but at some point they're gonna engage in multiple different pathways. But the cool thing here is that they could go through a welding certificate. They could go into a pre-engineering pathway and then say, you know what, this might be a little bit hard. I'm gonna drop here, but ultimately still achieving. Now, this picture is specific to Micron, but really the goal with this picture and the reason that Jason and I have kind of settled on this picture really helping us is this could say anything here. It doesn't have to necessarily be Micron, but what are the different ways that one of our students at our school could have this experience with a college course in the high school and then head off into, wow, I really want to be an engineer. You know what? Maybe that's not the right fit for me. And now I'm here. Or, you know what? I want to be a welder and this is what I've set my mind on and I can still make it to my end goal. So this is something that we have multiple CCN courses that are currently going on at the high school. I think that this is just right to take off. The second that Micron actually starts putting buildings up and students actually see what's going to happen, I think our ELM pathway will really, really take off. It's taking off at OCC, and I know that they are already putting students in it. And I'm actually going to hand the microphone off to Jason because he has a personal story about that.
Right. There we go. Got it. Okay, got it. It turned back on. So we're actually talking yesterday at Easter dinner about it, that he's super excited. He's going to go down to Manassas and is working at the fab down in Manassas. But I'm practicing what I preach and living it, that, he was a non-traditional student, didn't really like school, found this, has kind of complained about some of the classes he had to take, but all in all has had a positive experience. And he's very excited to be, having a 2-year associates and going right into a very, very great job. And I asked him yesterday, I was like, if when the plan is done here, are you going to come back? He's like, I don't know. He goes, we'll see. So, we'll see what happens, but what OCC is building is very impressive. And to the third bullet point here, the reason why is part of the, we were actually discussing the administrative summer retreat, and kind of the conversation came up. We're like, well, wouldn't it be cool to go and see OCC and see what they have to offer? If you haven't been, the facilities at OCC are second to none. So earlier on this year, I took our tech teachers and some science teachers and some guidance counselors up to OCC to see the facilities and see what they had to offer, so they could understand what, sometimes it's not just OCC, it's OCC. They have some amazing facilities. So as part of our administrative summer retreat, the second day of our retreat, I've been working with OCC to actually have our retreat on campus, have a tour of the facilities, all of the STEM, the clean room, all the way, but the clean room's kind of the top floor, but everything around it's amazing. The robotics and the welding and everything that they have to offer. So I really wanted to have our admin team get a feel for what there is to offer there. And so they can speak to the opportunities for students around this ELM pathway. And actually, once you see it and experience it and see what it's pretty amazing. So, that partnership is strong and growing. And, I'm just, again, excited for everything that is coming in the near future. Like it's coming quick and fast, but we have a lot of things going on in this district that make me very excited. Questions?
I was able to be at the Micron event last week as well for a little while. I personally wanted to thank Jason along with his team. There were many people that helped with that event, but Jason in particular was the person that really made it happen and has that amazing relationship with Micron to make those things happen in a very short time period. So lots of details, and it went off without a hitch. So thank you, Jason.
No problem. Glad to help.
Thank you.
All right, perfect.
Have no comments from the audience this evening. Education Committee reports. Mr. Thorne.
No report at this time.
Okay. Dr. Ward.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Marzio. There's a couple of things I wanted to highlight this evening. One of them is a relatively recent testing update. Just want to take a moment to highlight a really positive outcome for our district that was featured in Syracuse.com over the break, and that was the ELA performance of Lakeshore Elementary School. Lakeshore had the largest increase in ELA proficiency across 6 counties in the region. So their proficiency increased by 23 percentage points, reaching 52%. So again, it's not just school districts, that's all elementary schools in OCM BOCES. So that was amazing, but also amazing is our other elementary schools. So we saw gains across multiple elementary buildings. Bear Road is up 7 points. Cicero Elementary was up 13 points. These are proficiency points. Smith Road was up 10 points. Roxborough Road was up 6 points, and Allen Road was up 8 points. So just for context, the average statewide increase in ELA was 7 points last year. So 5 out of our 6 elementary schools were above the state average when it came to growth and improvement. And that's something that we're really excited about. But it is the result of lots of work by lots of different people, especially our focus on ELA with the implementation of MTSS, all the folks that help us with that, and also to the ongoing work with PLCs, all the professional development that teachers participate in. All of that just has us moving forward with ELA outcomes. And just to note, this will be the first year that in third grade that the students will have had CKLA for the entire experience from K through 3. So we had these proficiency rates really up, and these are for kids who started CKLA curriculum back in first grade. So I just wanted to highlight that. I had a highlight about Micron, but we already talked about that. So thank you, thank you, Jason. Just that it really was a great event. I want to maybe mention Dr. Leahy's farewell. This evening, we're about to probably accept his resignation letter, and I just want to read this piece. I have immense pride and heartfelt gratitude for Dr. Leahy. Chris has given so much to North Syracuse. His nearly 3 decades in education, including his time here as deputy superintendent, have been defined by integrity, collaboration, and unwavering commitment to students, staff, and our community. His deep sense of integrity has guided his decisions and leadership, earning the trust and respect of those around him. He has led with purpose, always focused on improving outcomes for kids while supporting the people who make that work possible every single day. What stands out most about Chris is not what he has accomplished, but how he has done it. He has built strong relationships, listened deeply, and approached every challenge with thoughtfulness and transparency. Our district is stronger because of him. On behalf of all of us, I just want to extend a sincere, heartfelt thank you to Chris for his leadership, his partnership, his dedication to North Syracuse. And while I'll miss your 11 o'clock on the nose lunches in our office, we certainly will miss you, and we're incredibly proud. So thank you and good luck in Moravia. And also in the personnel report, there's some news about someone else here at the table, and that is Dr. Brody. I'd like to take a moment to speak about Dr. Mike Brody and the work he has done since joining North Syracuse in September 24 as our assistant superintendent for human resources. In a relatively short time period, Mike has become a trusted and highly respected member of our leadership team. He has shown strong commitment to our staff and our schools, through thoughtful leadership, a high level of responsiveness, and a genuine focus on building positive relationships across the district. He brings with him a wealth of experience in educational leadership. His background includes serving both as middle and high school principal, as well as holding executive leadership roles overseeing K through 12 programming and district-wide responsibilities in human resources, operations, and labor relations. He has led large, complex organizations, supported thousands of students and staff, and played key roles in major district initiatives and capital projects. What stands out about Mike most is his belief that strong systems and strong people are both essential to long-term success. He has worked consistently to build relationship capacity in others while also strengthening systems that support our schools. The work Mike has done since arriving at North Syracuse has given all of us the confidence and the ability to step into the deputy superintendent role. He understands our district, he values our people, and he is exceptionally well prepared to take on this new important leadership position. So thank you, Mike.
Do we have any board comments? Josh?
As I'm sure most of the folks here know, the New York State budget is going to be late, and I think is going to be probably not finished by our next meeting. That is Granted, that is speculation, which will obviously make things difficult, but I do want to say though, it does seem like they are going to fix tier 6. So thank you to our legislators for doing that this year.
Next meeting? Is that what you said? Okay. Just wanted to let the board know, I handed out a flyer at everybody's, place. It's that time of year. That's information for the Dollars for Scholars Golf Tournament. So get a team early before it fills up. Also, with the board's permission, and only with your permission, we sponsored a golf hole last year. I would take care of doing that again if it was all right with the board. It is. We won't charge the ex officio because you work hard as it is. All right. But I'll let you know down the road after we take care of that. But there's the information. So I wanted to get that out to you early. Thank you.
Bridget.
I have no comments this evening.
Okay, thank you. Moving into routine action items, do I have a motion to accept item A for the approval of minutes from March 23rd? Mark? Paul, any question? All those in favor? One abs. Can I have a motion to place B and C together as a group for the consideration and classification for students? Paul and Mandy, any questions? Those in favor? Moving to discussion action items. Our first item tonight is a resolution to create a 1.0 TA position at CNS High School. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? Mark and Josh, any questions? Next is to acknowledge the 2026, 2027 payroll schedule. Do I have a motion to acknowledge that is presented? Dee and Cheryl, any questions? All those in favor? Before we move into personnel reports, I'll like to acknowledge a couple of retirements. We have Kevin Ferris, a school bus driver, is retiring with 20 years of service. And Thomas Page, a school bus driver, is retiring with 20 years of service. So as always, we thank you for your support, dedication, and commitment to our community and our kids, and wish you a long, happy, and healthy retirement. We need an executive session before we take personnel report. I have a motion to accept personnel report A as submitted. Bob and Mark, any question? All those in favor? I have a motion to accept support staff B as submitted. Mark and Cheryl, any questions? All those in favor? Do I have a motion to approve personnel report C as submitted? Josh and Mandy, any questions?
So thank you. Appreciate that every board meeting. Thank you.
All those in favor? And I would just like to congratulate Miranda, who's here tonight, who will be our new associate principal at the junior high. And again, congratulations, Dr. Brewer. I'll make a motion to move into executive session for the purpose of reviewing 2 parental appeals with action to follow and 1 personnel item with no action to follow. Do I have a second? Paul, any questions? All those in favor? That's unanimous. Thank you.